from the first quarter where they seemed to kind of have a little bit of a good roll going, what in your mind changed, whether it was either tactically on your guys' part or maybe just physically hitting the boards better? What changed the game and what allowed you guys to change the game in your favor?
Yeah, we got stops. We got stops defensively, and that was huge for us. The beginning of the first quarter, we were turning the ball over too much and just giving them easy layups. Weren't communicating well in our half court defense, and we were able to settle down and figure it out. Once we got stops defensively, stopped fouling, made it really difficult for them to score one-on-one. We were able to run and get easier baskets in transition, continue to get us into our actions as we wanted to, and that was the main difference. Defensive intensity and rebounding is what really changed the game for us.
Sab, that second half, you hit 6 threes, I think, of your 7, and just seemed to be in one of those zones, whipped the crowd into a frenzy. I mean, we talked before the game about what it would feel like to get the first playoff win here in 8 years. Did it live up to that expectations, and what changed for you in that second half the shots were just going in and you were a big reason that you got the win?
Yeah, I mean, in due time. I understand that I don't need to rush that part of my game. Continuing to just survey the floor. Everyone was playing well. B was coming down, shooting threes in transition. JJ was establishing herself inside, and I knew as everyone continued to play well, I'd have an opportunity to come down and knock down shots. And, I was kind of just in that zone, locked in. The basket felt really big when I was shooting. And obviously to be able to win this first game at home is huge just for this crowd and what they meant, for us all season long, but also tonight. They were rowdy, they were electric, continued to give us the motivation that we needed. And we want to continue to play our best basketball when we're playing at home.
Hello, all. Congrats on the win. My question is for Coach Brondello. Tonight, there were 18 assists on 33 made baskets, which is a low percentage for this team, but still, you managed to find ways to score. Betnijah carries the team scoring in the first half. Sabrina sets a playoff record, 7 triples. So what'd you think of the way that the team was able to find alternate means of facilitation and scoring on a night when Washington was shutting down the passing lanes?
Yeah, no, you have to adjust your game plan a little bit. I thought the pick and roll was good for us, but the penetration and then finding wide open looks. B started us off great, just getting downhill, attacking those closeouts, and then Sabrina closed it pretty good. So, we always talk about good to great. Yeah, we want high assists. We want to make great decisions, but it's not about the assists. It's more about the was it a great shot or not. And for the most part, I thought we did a really good job. And when we did move the ball, we got some. We had 12 threes. We got separation and got wide open looks.
Betnijah, one for you, and Coach, one for you. You scored 25 in the playoff game in 2021. You were double figures multiple times in last year's playoffs. What is it, and how do you take yourself to another level when the lights are shining brightest here in this league?
I mean, I don't know. It's just, this is what we're here for. This is what we do. And for me, I mean, I know what's at stake, but I just try to be the best me that I can be, and come out, be aggressive. And I think that's all that there is to it. I know it's playoffs, but for me, it's a game to the next step for our goal.
And Sandy, for you, what did you see from Myisha Hines-Allen on the other side of things? It was a season high from her. What allowed her to get to the basket as frequently as she did, and what were you seeing relative to what you've seen from her out of the first 4 games you guys played?
Yeah, no, she was a hard guard for us today, and it's not that she was an afterthought. We did discuss her, and but she made some plays. She's a veteran player and got to the rim and made a 3, and just her activity. She's a tough physical player, and she got in positions where she got wide open looks. So we have to tidy that up moving into game 2 and hopefully try and limit her effectiveness.
Sabrina, I think you set a record for greatest improvement as a three-point shooter from one season to the next, and you've had obviously a great three-point shooting season. How have you gone about taking that part of your game to another level since last year?
Well, having other great players around me has just opened up that part of my game, and I went into the off season last year understanding that we were going to make some changes to this roster and knowing that I can bring that, to this team. And so I put in a lot of work to be able to rely on my 3-point shot, but also understanding that it opens up the floor for my teammates. And the more spacing that we can have, the more room for B to be able to drive and go downhill, and JJ to establish herself inside, Sluti to be able to do what she does. She is the one that really passes a lot of those, assists off my shooting, and, Stewie, the MVP player that she is. And so just understanding that whether I shoot it or not, it allows our team to just have a different look, and understanding how important that is. And, thankfully I was able to hit a couple tonight.
Sandy, I'm curious how you thought B set the tone in the first half, and I mean pretty much throughout the whole game, and just sort of why in a playoff situation does it matter to have a player like her?
Yeah, it's massive. And B's been doing this for us all season long, and it keeps getting better and better. Going into the game, what you're going to get every single game. She's going to compete. She may not always score. She may score 20. She may have 10 and still have a fantastic game for us, because she sets the tone defensively. She is on Sykes tonight, who I think's, obviously a great player and a handful, but just her physicality. And then offensively, she's, 3-point shooter. You can do a lot of things. She's a driver. She's a finisher. She's a, mid-range. She's got so much versatility to her game, and puts a lot of pressure on the other team. It's another weapon for us when we obviously got so many players that can score at any given time.
And Sabrina, for you, I saw the return of your good luck charm, and Mikal Bridges was back. What was it like to have him back, and also meet Malala and Billie Jean King? There were a lot of people here tonight.
Yeah, super happy to have him back. Obviously, he had the opportunity to play with Team USA, which was amazing for him, and he did really well. But he's come all season long, from the beginning to where we're at now. He's supported us, and obviously we're super thankful to have him and everyone else that showed up tonight. I mean, it just is a testament to this team and how we are an attraction, and bring people in to show the world, not only, New York, that, we are New York basketball, and we are those strong women that are going to come out and compete and try and bring a championship to New York City. And so super thankful for all the fans that showed up, and hopefully continue to show up throughout this series.
Hey, Sab. Miles over here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. With about 6.5 minutes left, the Mystics had cut the game down to 6 points, and then you hit those back-to-back threes, both of them coming off of high screens from Jonquel Jones in transition. JJ had freed you up for another one earlier in the fourth quarter too. What did you see going into this game that you knew that would be an area that you could possibly exploit on the Mystics with their aggressiveness?
Yeah, just continuing to read defenses, and whether it doesn't work in the beginning, continue to stick with it. And JJ is such a great screener, because she's able to pop, or she's able to roll, and teams aren't sure how to defend that. And especially when we get into those actions really quickly off of stops, it puts defenses in a tough position, especially when we can get those screens high up on the floor. And so we're going to continue to find ways to, continue to get to the actions that we want, continue to move the ball, and get the ball in the right hands of who we need to score on that given opportunity and moment.
Hi, everybody. Congrats on the win. Question for Sabrina. It's clear that you get fired up and respond with big shots often after a call or a tough play. So without getting you fined, can you just talk about where that fire kind of comes from? And do we need to start calling you playoff Sab?
Let me not get fined, but I'd say some of those threes were for the refs. With all due respect.
Hey, this one's for Sandy. What does it say about JJ to not only be able to post up and get 20 and 10 on the inside, but then you throw her on Elena Del Don in the second half? How much easier does that make your life as a coach?
Yeah, really good when you've got options. And we said going into the game, we wanted to establish JJ down low, and we needed her to be really assertive on the block and getting the ball into her and the rebounding. But, defensively, we just thought it would be a good matchup and allowed Stewie to roam a little bit behind. And JJ, that was big. That really changed the game. And, the first quarter was like, oh, here we go, 120. They might get 120 here, but we knew we were going to get better defensively, and it's just a few little tweaks that helped us, and now it's just refocus and get ready for game 2.
Thanks. And then this one's for Betnijah. Aside from more shot making in the second half, What did you change on defense in terms of, did you think it was more effort or more, I guess, effective communication on your end?
Like all around?
Yeah, as a team, Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like we were on a string. Like we were really in the gaps, being able to help each other out, and we were able to get stops off of that, which fueled our offense, and just made us feel good. So I think that was the main thing, just making sure that we were helping each other out and just being as aggressive as we could.
Hey, Coach. I just want you kind of talked about Stewie, prior. Stewie didn't really shoot well tonight. However, she played a big part in the rebounding. You guys had 3 people almost in double digits in rebounding. I wanted to know how much emphasized was that prior going into the series?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've become a great defensive rebounding team, offensive rebounding team. It's been a focus of ours. We think that's another way that we can, put our stamp on the game. And we got great rebounders, JJ double, and then Stewie. And yeah, Stewie didn't shoot the ball well, but her effectiveness was really helpful for us. You can't take her out. Just her mobility, making people run and tiring them out. Length at the rim, I thought that was good, getting the rebounds. She'll make those the next game, but she draws so much attention that it opens up for everybody else. And you look at a plus minus, and it's the highest for the game. And that's what we look at, you know what I mean? Just because she can have, miss some shots, but you can do all the effort points, and that's what she did tonight.
Hey, Coach, back here. Seems like in the first quarter, so we mentioned before, game's kind of hanging in the balance. Washington got off to a good start, but eventually JJ ended up with a double-double that we've gotten so used to seeing this season. Was it kind of like a sense of calm that you had, knowing that going into the rest of the game that she'll be up against a lot of small defenders on the Washington side, especially with Shakira not being able to play? Yeah, no, definitely. If we can establish her down low and give it to her, we had the size advantage there, and JJ, and then it's up to her being assertive to the rim, and not just making sure that taking the ones at the rim and not the fadeaways, and being dominant there. So it is a luxury, not. And there was no panic. We allowed 29 points. It was like, okay, we're giving them too many opens. Let's just lift up our intensity, a little bit more scramble defense, change a little bit of the matchups, and that worked well for us because our defense is why. We are where we are at this time, and we're a great offensive team. But once our defense took off, it allowed us to get on a winning streak, and we know it's going to be critical as we move forward.
Coach right here, Leo Kaya with Fansided. Congrats on the win. You guys are 1-1 with the Mystics in the past 2 games. So how important is it to win the next game on Tuesday and close out the series in front of this crowd, given the role that they played tonight, which is incredible atmosphere that they set for you guys? So how badly, obviously this is kind of a dumb question, but what are the keys to winning this series here at home in front of this Brooklyn crowd?
Taking care of our home court. The crowd is fantastic. It was so loud. I was trying to do an interview on the TV. I could hardly understand what they were talking about. So, and that's our home court advantage there. We want to protect our home court. We don't want to go back to Washington. So we'll treat it as just a knockout game, because that's how important it is. It's the playoffs. So I don't have to get them up. They're already up. So it's more about just getting our preparation and making sure our mindset is where it needs to be.
Hey, everybody. To end the first half, Sab, you took out the ball, but then Betnijah, you came over to maybe run a different play. What was the conversation there? And you ended up passing it out yourself, Sab.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
I can't remember either. Can you remember?
I don't remember what the conversation was, and I don't know how to. Huh?
I think your shoe was untied.
She told her shoes were untied.
Yeah. I would try and answer with some like BS, but I really don't. I'm so sorry. I have no idea. Good. But yeah, we talked about something.
Hi, everybody. This one's for B. Towards the end of the half, Stewie had made that tip off the offensive rebound, and you were able to get the layup at the buzzer to end the half. Just in a game like this, just how valuable is it just to sort of have those swing plays that go your way to really have the crowd on full tilt heading into the second half?
Yeah, plays like that give us momentum. It just gives us good energy, something to feed off of. And being able to have that play go into the half, knowing we did something well and feel good coming out, it just fuels us.
We have time for one more on Zoom. Alexa?
Hi, Sabrina. Between you referenced in the interview post game how it was fresh in your mind how the Mystics kind of waved you off the court in the end of the regular season game, and then you also referenced making those threes for the refs. So I'm just curious, where does that edge from you come from? And do you feel like you thrive when you're, you or the team, I guess, is quote unquote disrespected?
Yeah, I mean, it's all of us understanding what that felt like last game, losing on a buzzer at our home court, and understanding what we had to do adjustment-wise to not allow that to happen. And playoff basketball is different. It's 0-0 for everyone, and we have to take care of business and not let these opportunities pass us by when we do have home court advantage. So we understood, the pressure that we put on ourselves to want to be the absolute best every single game, and none of us forgot what that felt like after last game, and we took that with a chip on our shoulder coming into this game.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.